Hi, Beth Sager here with our Lexington Local, and today we're at Penguin Coding with Yumio.
Hello, I'm Yumio Sanayoshi. I'm the founder and owner of Penguin Coding School here in Lexington.
So, tell me this. First of all, why did you call it Penguin Coding School? I mean, like, that's the obvious.
So I started this school 5 years ago, and we had just moved from California, and for my wife's job, and so she was the breadwinner at that time because we just moved, and I was kind of looking for something new to do, and so I was kind of home with the kids and doing all the kind of the parenting. And then we found out that penguins are one of the few species where the male penguin actually takes care of the egg while the female penguin goes out and hunts. So it seemed like a good kind of analogy to what we were doing, and also penguins are cute, so you can't go wrong with a cute animal
You can't go wrong with
as a logo.
Oh, that's so funny. That's a good story.
Yeah.
So what were you doing prior to this school?
So we all lived with our family lived in California, in Silicon Valley. I used to work for internet companies, like all the kind of the big ones, small ones.
Right.
And so when I moved over here and kind of had a fresh start, I figured I wanted to do something on my own, and was looking for things to do. Started teaching some kids in the neighborhood. Actually, it started with my own kids, teaching coding, and it was really fun. So then, kind of started teaching neighborhood kids. Rented a room in the church, the Hancock Church, which is by the Lexington Green. We rented a Sunday school room they weren't using during the week, and just started doing free coding classes for kids in the area, and that kind of grew and grew from there.
Nice. So now tell me about your school. What age kids? What do they learn?
So we have kids from age 6 and up all the way to high school seniors who are 18 years old. We have what are called drag and drop coding for the youngest kids before they can kind of really type. It's called Scratch, and then there's a game called Minecraft that you can teach coding with. For the kids who can type, we start teaching Python and JavaScript, which are kind of beginner coding languages. And then when they are older, we teach them to make Apple iPhone apps. We have Java for high school students who are taking the AP exam. So we really kind of run the gamut, first grade all the way up to high school seniors.
So we're standing in front of your robotics table. Where do you learn this? How do you learn?
So we started teaching robotics as part of our coding curriculum about 4 years ago, actually. And we joined the first Lego League, which is really big in Massachusetts. And so we have multiple teams. We have teams of anywhere from 3 to 8 students in age from 9 all the way to 14. And they build their own robots using Lego. This is their competition table, so they have to complete these missions in a certain amount of time. And we're actually preparing to go to a big regional tournament in Springfield, Massachusetts this Saturday. And this is a great way to kind of integrate coding with more kind of hands-on activities. And a lot of kids, love just playing with Lego, but also with robots. So it's been a great kind of addition to our curriculum.
Nice. And you mentioned that you had other teachers here. So what is your setup now?
Yeah,
do you do any teaching?
Yes, I still. So when I first started, obviously I was the only teacher. Now we actually have 25 teachers. Because during the pandemic we started doing online teaching, and so we actually have teachers, in the West Coast, in Texas, in Utah, But we also have our kind of our Lexington-based teachers as well, and Dongmei, who's like working over there right now, and we have other teachers that come in.
Okay. And so, what is their background? I mean, do they come from a coding background?
All kinds. So yeah, so we have people who are teachers by trade, like the public school teachers who wanted to kind of learn coding as part of their overall skill set. We have professionals who want like software developers who want to just spend a few hours a week teaching kids, and then we have also college students and college graduates who love this the coding but also love teaching, and so it's really a mix of different backgrounds.
Okay.
One thing I forgot to mention, we actually this year opened a branch in Brooklyn, New York as well.
Oh, wow.
So we have teachers there in person as well.
And what do you think your success is attributed to? I mean, that sounds pretty successful, up to 25 teachers in 5 years. And
I think, well, there's, clearly a demand for teaching coding.
Okay.
There's a lot of, kids who want to learn. There's a lot of parents who want their kids to learn. And there are other, schools out there. I think we've always focused on teaching quality from the very beginning. And so we have very small classes. A lot of our classes are like 2 to 3, 2, 3, 4 students per teacher. And we also emphasize, making sure that they all have fun while doing it, but they still learn. It's not like, it's not like daycare where they just drop off and then we just let them play games. We really teach them coding, and we've seen some kids who started in 4th grade. Now they're in high school and they're, freshmen. They're, entering competitions. They're, taking AP classes. So we're really happy with the results when it ends up like that.
Nice. And so, can anyone take a coding class? Like, if you've never taken a coding class before, do you really start at the beginning?
Yes, we definitely. We're absolutely welcome beginners, and a lot of kids. We have a pretty extensive free trial program, and so a lot of kids try it for the first time, and and if they love it, they stay and they become our students. A lot of parents bring their kids the kids are kind of reluctant. They're like, oh, coding, that sounds hard, or that sounds like math, but once they're here, they discover kind of how fun it can be, how creative it can be. And so we really want kids to try it. We never try to force anything. If the kids don't like it, they should try, other things, right? But we have a very good kind of rate of people who try it and then, end up taking our classes. So I think for a lot of students, even if they don't realize it, once they try it, they find out how exciting this can be.
Nice. And so how do people get in touch with you? What's your best way? Is it a web page or?
Yeah, so everyone, if you type in Penguin Coding, pretty much you'll find us. Okay. We're the only one. We are also, it's a trademark name, so we're the only Penguin Coding school out there. And they can register for either online or in-person classes. Our free trial, like I said, like anyone can just come in and try it. But yeah.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So this is Dongmei. She teaches here at the Penguin Coding School. So tell us, were you a prior student? Tell us how you got into this.
So actually, when I was in college, I studied computer science and human development. And so I knew that I always wanted to continue to combine those two. And when I was looking for a job, I came upon this, and I thought it was just kind of perfect because it really brings together students and computer science really well.
Nice. So what ages do you teach?
I teach as young as the 6-year-olds to, I believe, 12-year-olds.
Okay.
So on the younger side.
Nice. And what do you love about your job?
I just like hanging out with the kids. They're really fun.
Yeah.
They can be really silly at times. They're just really entertaining to work with, and especially just like how they can add in their creativity into the work. It's really fun.
That's nice. So what would you tell others who are either thinking about it as a college, course of action, or, what's your sort of conclusion?
I mean, I love it, just because I also work with the robotics too, so I like being also hands-on. It's just a great experience to be able to also just learn coding at the same time. I definitely, I guess my skills were limited when I first started, and I just like being able to teach here because then it continues to just reinforce all like the main fundamentals, as well as just like challenge me into trying to figure out and create new ways to code like different projects. Right now I'm like working on the Minecraft curriculum.
Okay.
Minecraft just came out with, or not recently, but within the last few years they came out with a coding version with the drag and drop. And it's really fun because Minecraft itself is a great video game, but then adding in like the coding to have kids just combine both those passions it's really fun to be able to challenge and then have fun at the same time.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.